I talked to a guy this week. He's around here somewhere. So when I talked to him, he said, man, I really want to get locked in again. He says, I want to know more about the word. I really want to know more about what I'm supposed to do. He says, I have a happy family. My family, we get along, we're fine. He says, but I know it's something missing. It's more. He said it's more. I said, oh, that's easy. I said, purpose is calling. So here he's 60 and he still has a good business, has a good family, but it's something missing. Right. Because he was designed for something. And he's never going to settle into fulfillment until he gets what he was designed to do. You see what I'm saying? So purpose is always calling. All right, this is a key. The reason why we know places are important, you have to realize God made places before he made people. So think about it. What God did was, in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. Heaven and earth at the same time. And then Genesis 1:1, Genesis 2:1, and God was finished with the heavens and earth and all the hosts of them. So before people, he created a place. Then he planted them in the place for them to prosper. Then he formed man out of the place. See, think about it. What you birth from, you need to be attached to for you to live. Yeah, because if you take a fish out of water, what happens? Right, take a tree out of the ground, take a man out of God. So when God births you, and he births you, like I don't know if you guys notice, but they'll say, if you eat nutrients from where you're birthed from, your body absorb it better. Like they tell you to eat local fruit and stuff like that sometimes, especially if you're local, because for whatever reason your body gravitates to that better. Imagine if you're where you need to be with God. Your body gravitates to that better. You ever think about how your life is growing, like when you kind of was out there? You know, some of y'all was out there, right? Like, all right, so some of y'all, you know how when you was out there and you were distracted, but then you start getting around a man or woman of God, or you start hearing about something and it did something to you. You might even heard a song, and you felt some kind of way, like you felt something different. Because what happens is it was in you already. And you started to stir up that gift was in you. The Bible says that God has dealt to every man a measure of faith. So he's poured a measure of faith in you. So anytime that faith gets around purpose, it starts to shake and rattle. It's like it wants to do something. It's like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I remember a young man, he was played football. So we ended up becoming good friends. We started working out together. And all of a sudden, he started having dreams. All types of dreams. I can't say what one of the dreams was, but one of the dreams, it was something that his wife had never told him about. It was like 2 years later, he woke up and said, hey, I just want to ask you, did this ever happen? She broke down and started crying. How did you know? He said, I just dreamed it last night, but it happened 2 years ago. And he kept having dreams that were accurate. Why? It was already in him. But when he started getting around the things of God, it starts stirring up the gifts in him. So you start to see things. You start to pick up things. Like you have a knowing, you just know. Like you ever have a knowing, but you really can't explain why you know, but you know you know. You know, especially the husbands, like, you know, the wives be like, so why are we doing this? When I was young in the Lord, my wife be asking me stuff. I was like, babe, I just know we need to do it. Like I couldn't write it down. Now she got steps. I give her steps, you know, like, you know, because, you know, you just can't be like, you can't just be rolling like that. Like, you know, y'all need like specifics, you know, like, and we're going where and what time? How long is it going to take us to get there? And what do we plan to achieve on this journey? But in the early years, I would just be like, I just know we're supposed to do it. She probably laughed exactly like that when I said it. Like, babe, I just know. And, you know, if I'm younger in the Lord, you know, she's younger. So, like, we gonna do what? Man, no, this dude is crazy. But, okay, you know, but it was a knowing. And I was willing to be embarrassed with that knowing. To look back, because I didn't naturally know. I didn't even know how I knew, but I knew. And so I just, well, babe, this is what we're going to do. Okay. Whatever you say, I'll make some other plans just in case this doesn't work out. It's probably how it played out, right? You know, like, all right, sure, whatever. But that knowing is because when you get around the things of God, something just starts to shake in you. And you sense things. And your gifts that God gave you before the foundations of the world start to move and operate. Ain't that right? Right? And a matter of fact, I remember when I first met this guy right here, back in Ohio, the first 2 Bible studies he came to at Capital University, he broke down and cried. First 2. And, you know, I'm going to say it anyway. Like, I was going to ask permission. I was going to say it. Yeah. But he was the Seventh-day Adventist at the time. Right. Walked into the presence of God. But see, God was already in him waiting to do some things in his life. So he walked into the presence of God, and like I'm doing the Bible study, this dude was gone. Like he would be gone. So you come back the next week and the same thing happened. Then the next week, the presence of God was all on him. And my wife, you know, as we were growing, she would like walk up on people and, oh, this is we were going to, we're doing a home visit. And so we're doing a home visit, we walk up to the door. I said, babe, I left the sheet. I don't know their names. She says, I don't know either. She said, it's probably Jackie or something. We walk in, the person's name is Jackie. like, or she would be talking to somebody and she just starts saying, well, you know, you probably get to see your husband or something. I'm paraphrasing. And she's like, no, I haven't talked to him in 15 years. And 15 minutes later, the person gets a phone call from the husband. Like, so things just kept coming out of her, but she wasn't walking around, I got a word for you. Hold on, wait. Thus saith the Lord. She wasn't rolling like that. See, because in the knowing, there's no showing. Like you're not trying to. See, it's not about, I got a prophetic gift. No, it's to profit others. You're not paying attention to yourself at all. And see, when you get in the right place, it'll just start to flow out of you. But you can't run from it. Like some of y'all get uncomfortable because now you gotta float and you used to being in control. Some of y'all get uncomfortable because now you gotta float and you used to being in control. You know how some of y'all get uncomfortable because now you got to float and you used to being in control? Just making sure y'all heard me because it seems like, you know, y'all trying to deflect that one. Like, you wouldn't let it penetrate, so I had to say it 3 times, so I figured I could catch you on one of those times. No, but see, what it is when God sends you to a particular place and at a particular time, he's trying to get you to do a particular thing. Which he's been trying for the whole time. So he's going to use all your mishaps, all your mistakes, all your challenges, all the things that you probably wouldn't have gave yourself a pass on. He's going to use all that to impact lives. But when he sends you to that place, you got to get locked in. And you got to be consistent. Like if you take a tree and you put it in the ground. And then later on that day, you pick it up and you take it to some other ground and you put it in. And then later on that day, you take it and you pick it up and you put it somewhere else. And then later on that day, you take it and you put it somewhere else. I mean, how is it going to grow?
I'm not good, Pastor Q.
What's up? Hey, you have to sustain your growth. And the interesting thing is, do you want to get to 60 and 70 and now you're going, something's missing? Now, if you're honest with yourself, you were saying that at 50. At 40, at 30. But what you would do is, it was uncomfortable to deal with what was missing, so you would play it off or come up with another voice or get yourself busy doing something that could occupy your time for that moment, thinking that what was calling you was optional. It's not an option. You're designed for it. He put you here to do it. How is it optional? The scripture says, do the potter, do the clay say to the potter, yo, why'd you make me into a pot? I was thinking about being an ashtray this week. No, I'd just rather be an ashtray. No, we were designed by God to fulfill his purpose and will. Ran off into sin. He sent his son to die for us, to bring us back into his presence, to get back to that place where you're supposed to be fulfilled. So why do we keep trying to go back to over there? Because we've done it before, because we've been comfortable with it. Why do we keep trying to do that? As opposed to just, okay, God, I'm going to embrace what you told me to do. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24. We just moved over here, so we had the kids with us for today. But the goal is they'll have their own fun place next week. They're just being kids. It's not the right scripture. All right, go to Ephesians 6. There is a scripture in Matthew that tells you, as you go through, and I wrote the wrong scripture down for whatever reason. What did I say? Ephesians 6. It says, as you go through your different challenges and tribulations, just stay in your holy place. Like, don't get out of your holy place. That's the most difficult thing is the adversary starts seeing you press towards doing the right thing towards God and you're consistent in your things of God. And the first thing he tries to do is pull you out of place like he did with Adam and Eve. You figure Adam and Eve was birthed and they were set in the garden. They were set in a place. And they had everything. Totally fulfilled. Didn't want for nothing. So then the adversary, if you look at, this is the place that they were in, the adversary offers Eve fruit of the tree. So he's like, here. Now let's do it this way. Let's do Cruz. You're gonna be my help today. Come on, you'll be my help. No. Let's use Corey. We'll use Corey. Yeah, you got to go up there. Go up on stage. Yeah. All right. So she's in the Garden of Eden. So the adversary is trying to offer her something here. Yeah, you got to come. You got to come out here. Come on. You really weren't supposed to, but thanks for being a good example. No. So he's trying to get her out of place. Go back up. So I can't leave you hanging like that. You got to go back up. Don't take it this time. All right, so here. Come on. No, seriously. Listen, you'll be just like God if you take this. Don't you want it?
No, thank
Yeah, take it seriously. Come on out here. Listen, if you get this, you'll be like God.
you. Thank you.
No, take it. Take it! Come on. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The whole time, she did good. She was like, no, I'm not taking it. But that's what the adversary was trying to do. He's trying to get Eve out of place. And then once he got her out of place, Adam was designed to cover her. So he jumped out of place. By then, he was why are you going to laugh for I say it? He was used to being with Eve. I just said it that way. He's like, shoot, I'm going to. I've been alone. I don't like it. Right? So now they both out of the presence of God. So the adversary don't have no different tricks. What do you think he's trying to do with you? He's trying to pull you out of place. Pull you out of place. Pull you out of God's presence. Pull you out of what's ultimately going to fulfill you. You have to be able to sustain where you're supposed to be to flourish. You have to be able to sustain. If you think about it, every time you get locked into doing something, something be coming up, right? Something that says, could be a job transfer, could be somebody make you mad.